Hey everyone, Petzergling here, bringing you the second game of the Lost Saga MSL Day 2 of the round of 16. This is Jangbi versus FrOzean, and I guess he calls himself Cute Angel now, which is a pretty awesome name.
That's
I mean,
really
it's pretty
gay.
Suited to his playstyle. Yeah, actually, he's used that name for a while, and some people see it, know him as Cute Angel, and some people as FrOzean, but I'm gonna continue calling him FrOzean. And out of all the games today, I think this is going to be pretty one-sided. I mean, Jangbi, just an excellent PvT player. I mean, he made it to the semifinals of the finals. Excuse me, he lost in the finals. Yeah, in the last MSL. And look at that, 11-3 in the MSL is PvT, and he's just been playing so well lately. And FrOzean, not a terrible player. I mean, he's been showing up in the round of 16s, and he's been getting his name out there. But I haven't really seen him win a lot of games, play really good, and I don't know, I just can't see him winning this game. What do you think, Daz?
I'm gonna have to agree with you there. I mean, FrOzean's always been able to kind of hang around, but I just cannot picture him being any better than a kind of mediocre Terran, and Jangbi is just way above that level. I mean, Jangbi, he's top 10 right now. I mean, probably even top 5. Like, I would say he's probably in the 5th spot there with Stork, Bisu, Flash, and Jadon. I would put him as the 5th right now if I had to make a power ranking, just the way he's been playing. I mean, in the finals of the MSL, the finals of the GOM TV, just playing excellent. His PvT has been great for a while. His PvT has been excellent as well, and his PvZ is no slouch. But, like, his PvTs is especially as a standout. I think it's a standout matchup for me. Just the control he has, and he has such a good head for it. And also, making one of the best plays of the year, I think, that game versus Nada, where Nada set up a whole lot of tanks, and Jangbi didn't really have that big of an army, but he just laid down a blanket of storms. Like, I've never seen someone cast so many storms at one time. He just cast, like, 17 storms, one after the other, all perfectly placed in the space of, like, 3 seconds, and totally destroyed Nada. Anyway, we're going to sync it up here. 1-0, and we're off. But yeah, I'm predicting Jangbi is gonna beat him pretty handily. Like, some of the games might be close, but I can't imagine FrOzean even taking one game off Jangbi. He's just that good right now.
Yeah, I can't agree more. And I guess I didn't actually look specifically at each matchup's thumbs up, thumbs down, but Jangbi 2-0'd his group, and I assume we would have seen Carthage for the first game, but I guess we're seeing
Byzantium,
Byzantium,
no less.
Which is, yeah, against 2 Terrans. But I mean, Byzantium is a pretty strong map for Protoss. It's not totally imbalanced, but it's definitely doable. I mean, I think it's like slightly above 50%, just because it's really difficult in early game Terran to defend against just standard 2-gate goon range. And I mean, especially with a player of Jangbi's caliber, I mean, I'm pretty sure he could do enough damage to FrOzean early on, just off of the 2-gate goon pressure if he decides to. And it depends on what FrOzean decides to do too. And we see some players go up and wall on their high ground, but FrOzean's not going to do that. Jangbi putting somewhat of a forward pylon there. So I mean, it looks like a pretty standard game. I mean, this is actually what I think the best map for bunker rushing is. I mean, I went, I think, like 35-10 on IC Cup, just building 2 barracks in the middle of this map when it was map of the week, and this would be the only map I played. And that'd be awesome if FrOzean did it. But yeah, this is the map that I did it on, right under the 2 statues.
Yeah, this is a really good bunker rush map. It's a good proxy map if you find it. Apart from being a 4-player map, like, the middle is just so open, and there's so, like, it's really hard to scout that. I'm wondering if pro gamers, do you ever see pro gamers cross scout on this map just for that reason? I don't know. Maybe do people ever do it to you?
Look at those stats.
95 to 5%. That's good.
Yeah,
that's just
there's a few people that cross scout. I know, what's his name? Artosis cross-scouted me. He's one of the few people that did, but I hardly ever see pro gamers cross-scout. Yeah, and wow, so really, it seems like just quick gas right along with his gateway there. And, when they go at the same time, I assume that's going to be right to Dragoons, no Zealot, which I think is a pretty good move on this map. Right, yeah, well, no, I guess. It seemed like he put them down both on 11. Alright.
Well,
and
the gateway
3 SCVs on gas.
It was definitely
11
gas,
okay.
Which is going to be a quicker gas build. Than
right, pretty standard. Second
but
gateway,
yeah,
so it looks like
there's
a 10-15
no way
gate, a very forward 2 gateway opening there with goon range. So, this is what's gay about Protoss. I mean, normally you see Protoss players play real conservative and scout after pylon just so they can be sure they scout the Terran. But I mean, Jangbi just sits there with his dick in his hand and doesn't scout until his second gateway comes out, and then just first scouts the Terran. And this is so frustrating because, he's going to have a really strong economy early on to go for this 2-gate goon range. And I think he cut probes there. So I mean, he's not really committing to it, but this is really going to force FrOzean with a real defensive build here, and it looks like 2 SCVs on gas, so I assume this is going to be some sort of siege mode opening. And this is going to be really difficult to stop here. I mean, maybe some sort of strange vulture play like with a dropship would be good, but I mean, at least FrOzean scouted him early and he's going to know what's coming. But a player of Jangbi's caliber, I mean, I'm not sure FrOzean is going to be able to hold off even this attack. And if he does, I mean, it's going to do a ton of damage. Like, unless he gets some sort of lucky mine or Jangbi makes a huge miss micro, I mean, I think Jangbi's going to take it right away.
Well, I don't know if I'd go that far. I mean, he's definitely going to do some damage here, but when the tank comes out, I think he'll be okay. And hopefully he is going for a siege build, like you said, because siege is definitely his best bet. I mean, once he gets
going for the bunker.
Tanks
Good
okay.
move
This
there.
is actually something that I like
yeah,
to
that's
do
a solid opening, yeah.
I mean, all he has to really have to do is repair that bunker until the tank comes out, and then he has to make sure not to get the tank sniped. I mean, it's going to be a little tough, though. He has to have good control. He's probably going to have to use SCVs, because even if you have that bunker up, you have a tank behind it. If it's not a siege tank, if it's just a regular tank, it's not going to do a lot of damage that quickly, and the Protoss can run Dragoons past the bunker and just snipe the tank. So, I mean, that can cause a lot of problems. Being pretty ballsy there with the Marines, moving them out of the barracks. If he had lost a Marine, that would be pretty big. Okay, looks like he's going for the... Yeah, he's putting down the CC. Did he do it? Okay, he did. I think he did it before starting his second tank, so he's getting pretty ballsy with the build here. He has to not lose that tank. He cannot afford to lose that. He has to keep it alive until he gets siege up, and once he gets siege up, it's going to be really easy to hold it. Bunker by itself is not very effective because of the range of Dragoons. Once you have a bunker with siege tank, it's going to make a huge difference.
This is a solid opening here from FrOzean, I think, and I was actually kind of surprised to see a bunker, but I mean, now that you think about it, I mean, Jangbi's micro is so good, his control is just amazing, but FrOzean is not really that far behind in terms of macro. I mean, he can be a pretty strong player, and going for this bunker but fast CC, like right after the first tank, but still making sure you get the bunker down build. It's a really strong build against this 10-15 gate goon opening, because not only does it pretty much defend, I mean, look at that, unless Jangbi, and he can't even do anything crazy. I mean, walling off with the barracks and the depot, extremely safe build here from FrOzean, and I really like this opening. And not only what I think is good about this opening, because it puts you slightly ahead, but it really forces the Protoss in sort of like a play mode, because Jangbi can't do whatever he wants at this point. I mean, he's really behind, not a lot, but he's behind in terms of economy, and I mean, he pretty much wants to either do some sort of crazy attack, which I can't expect, or double expand, and right there we see the Nexus. So I mean, FrOzean, not only does he open with a lead, but he knows exactly, pretty much, I mean, when you're in the position when you defend a 10-15 gate range right away, and you know your opponent didn't do any damage, you pretty much know that your Protoss opponent is going to expand, double expand. So I mean, if FrOzean has something planned for this, and he could go for some sort of 4 factory timing, or maybe he could even take a quick third of his own. But either way, I mean, he's going to be in control of the pace of the game for most of the mid game. I mean, he pretty much can decide whatever he wants to do with this, and Jangbi's going to kind of lose control here.
Yeah, I mean, at this point it comes down to FrOzean's scouting and his timing push. I mean, since Jangbi did a double Nexus, if FrOzean scouts it right away, if he finds out right now, and if he goes for a timing push, he's going to win the game. I mean, you cannot hold double Nexus like that if you're... Especially if the Terran got a CC so early and you got your first Nexus down way after the CC. If he goes for a super timing push, I mean, there's just no way you can hold it. But it really doesn't look like FrOzean is going to do that. I mean, he actually is putting down, I think, 4 factories just by looking at the mini-map. but it doesn't look like he's cutting SCVs or anything, and he doesn't know. He's not aware what Jangbi's doing. He hasn't scouted it yet. So that's making all the difference. Now, Jangbi here is going for a Reaver drop, and that might do a really good job for him in terms of just keeping FrOzean in his base. I mean, that's really the most important part. The longer you keep the Terran in his base, the more time you have until the push comes, especially if you're able to do some damage, slow down his SCV, you know, kill a few